youth need to get involved because they bring in that perspective, and sometimes it's helpful that they don't take no for an answer.
Right. Now, what would you say to somebody that's maybe thinking about getting involved?
Do it.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. Just do it. Like, just take that first step. Be an activist. Find something you're passionate about, and go to town on it.
Yeah, you don't need to start off by running, right? Like you can start off by finding an issue or two, having a community meeting, going to council,
Yes.
to sit at council, right? Sit at a council or at provincial parliament or at Ottawa, right? At Queen's Park, at the Parliament Hill. Do something like that. Go connect with a councillor, an MP, an MPP. In this region, they're very open to that. They'll go up for a coffee with you, or they'll have you at the office to chat and advocate for something you believe in. Do that process. And if that doesn't work, I loved what happened in the States with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders loses the ability to run for president, and what he ends up saying is, okay, get on school boards, get on councils, get on committees.
Yes.
We had more young people apply to be on important committees in the county than we had ever had. And our county committees are more diverse because of it. And there's new voices, and there's folks that might be on for 20 years, replacing folks who are, frankly, retiring or moving away or passing away, unfortunately. Like, we need that injection of young people into civics. And it doesn't have to be by running, but it can be.
Right.
But it can be in a lot of different other ways.
There is a total movement happening right now with it's not just Norfolk County or just County of Brant. There are these turnovers with municipal politics, and I think the thing I love about municipal politics is you don't have to know a whole lot about it to participate. It's like grassroots. You are boots on the ground, and a big thing of my campaign was like, being a councillor is not this exclusive, top secret position or thing. That you are a person in your community who loves your community. And I was running, I was door knocking every night and coming home and reading Robert's Rule for Dummies. Because that's how council proceedings are run, under Robert's rules. And what did I know about that?
And we'll pick right back up after this break. Enjoy the commercials. We're going to have some more poutine.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Think Millennial. I'm Matt.
I'm Ben.
Thanks for watching. We're back again with Amy and Mark.
Thanks for watching. I call it regular old Ben and even better Matt. Right? Yeah. Take the compliment. Take them while we give them out, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, regular old Ben.
Yep. It's cool. Good old Ben.
So I want to actually talk to you guys a little bit about the actual process of campaigning, right? Like, obviously, it's like, kudos to you guys for putting yourselves out there. Like, that's a huge move for anybody, I think. I have a lot of respect for that. So like, what was the biggest hurdle like when each of you were campaigning?
Yeah, I think you're right. Putting yourself out there is probably the biggest part. It's an extremely vulnerable feeling, and I'm not a nervous public speaker, but you go to these town halls or you go to your debates, and you have to sell yourself as a person, and that is so, you're just totally vulnerable. I'm so great, and you should vote for me because, or here's what voting for me is going to deliver to you. So that was difficult for me, and got my nerves going, certainly. But throughout the entire campaign process, I think my biggest grief was just politicking with other people that I was running with. Or, you know, I really wanted to put the blinders on and just do me really well and focus on me. And I had a couple like hiccups where I just thought,
Yeah, it happens.
it's difficult.
Like, were some of your competitors a little greasy kind of thing? Almost?
Yeah, just
okay.
some situations that you're like, we're all adults here.
And did you get attacked for your age? I did, and I'm 37. So.
A little bit, and I'm in a huge retirement community. A little bit for my age, but not as much as my age, is just what age equals in experience. And we were similar to you, I think, had this big movement where we needed a clean sweep. We needed inexperience. We needed something new brought to the table.
Yeah, there was. I always find that really difficult, and I've seen it at the bigger. Like, I joked. A longtime councillor said, you're going to develop a thick skin, and because I'd ran twice federally, I said, I'm the only person on council who's been in 2 federal national campaign ads that were negative ads, and they were recent. Like, I'm fine with that, but it's still it's always a difficult thing. As you're going to a door, I went to some doors and people were asking me about my kids in ways that other candidates had been saying things about my children, and I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, and Also making that an issue, like, well, he can't possibly do this because he's got 2 little kids and he works full time. And it's like, well, I've attended more events, I've planned more events, and I've hit more doors than you while having 2 little kids and working full time. So maybe I can.
Yeah, I'm actually just warming up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Just let me stretch and we'll see how this goes. But there is that piece about inexperience, but there's a bit of the old boys club occurs in politics, and I've seen that federally too. It's not new, but on these little races, it's interesting because you're literally talking about 1,000 to 3,000 votes, and for people to do that, I think it says a little bit more about them than it ends up saying about you. And now those voices are really quiet, you know, and you let the work speak for itself, and people have an opportunity 3.5 years from now to boot us out if we weren't doing the job.
Yep.
Right.
So was it what you expected, like the campaign process?
I didn't know really what to expect. I expected to be busy. I expected to have to sell myself. But other than that, I was really going into it blind, so I tried to keep expectations low.
Yeah. Imagine a 9-month job interview. Right? A job interview is an hour and it's stressful. Imagine it for 9 months.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put
and
that.
It's the world's longest job interview. And it's every time you knock on a door, it's a job interview. And sometimes you're going 2 or 3 times to the same doors, and it's the updated job interview. It's the progress report. But that's how you have to treat it, because there's a professionalism that needs to occur, right? There's a lot of heart to it. There's a lot of passion, but it also needs to be a professional endeavor, that you communicate professionally with people and treat them with respect. My ward mate Steve Howes has these 2 little stones he had made from the Paris Painted Rocks group. He puts on the desk. We share a desk at council, sort of thing, and it says respect and empathy. And they're 2 little stones. And these are things that are needed on municipal governments. Right?
That's amazing, and I think that really speaks to like just the mindset that you both, as well as everybody else that ran, that you had. And I don't know if that was something that you, going into, you had that already, kind of that mental toughness to go in there and hit all those doors, or if that was something you kind of developed as you went through that process. I mean, for you, it was the very first time knocking on doors.
I kind of went through the process of it, like you're on a high and you go out and you hit all these doors and you finish that whole neighborhood and you sleep well, and other times you're dragging yourself out the door to go. But I said to myself every step of the way, no matter what, like you go, you show up, you deliver, and you door knock every night, every day you can. You leave no stone unturned, because at the end of this, if I don't win, if I don't pull out the big win, I can say to myself, it was because it's not because I didn't do anything. And so
it's better to regret the things you do than the things you didn't do.
Right. So that kept me going.
Yeah, we have 2,500 doors in our area, and I think I knocked on personally 2,200.
Wow.
And my volunteers knocked on another 1,000. And they're not big, like 4 or 5 people, and wow, that's a great campaign.
Yeah.
It's that. It's fundraising. It's the social media piece. It's emails. It's and then it's balancing that with your life, right? Because you can't. The worst thing you can do is run because you need the job, right? Or run because you don't have other things in the fire. Like this is a part of your life. It can't be your whole life. And I've seen people who are 62 and they're on council, and they've been on council for 23 years, and this is their whole identity. And that doesn't actually connect you to people anymore. What it does is it connects you to, you were talking about the elite club. It feels like that, as opposed to feeling like I'm just a person like you, and I work just like you, and I'm trying to do things just like you. I go to this, people knocked me for my kids, and I said, well, I know how the library works because I go there. I know how CELAPS, the community center, works because I go there. I know how early years work because I go. Using the services helps me have an insight into that. So, and even now, somebody said, came from John Noble Home for a presentation. They said, well, yeah, if anybody's been there, it's like I worked with them for over 10 years as a social worker. I don't need to go do the tour because I know these systems. Right. And that's the things you need to leverage, your experience living in your community.
Right. And I just want to touch on the fact that in the pictures that I see on social media, you've got your kids with you and involved, and I think that's just so amazing.
My daughter helped me put signs up.
Yeah, that they're seeing that process happen, and they're seeing you go out there.
We have these little garden signs that say, onions, tomatoes, and she was like, this is my sign. It says Ellie, and she put them in the grass because that's what we did. Somebody, like a person who is a supporter, made her a sign. Like I have a designed Ellie Laferriere sign, Paris Princess. It's amazing.
The writing's on the wall.
If she wants it, yeah. But it's you have to involve your family and be honest about it. We did a thing in my campaign called Playtime in Politics, where we rented out CELAPS the floor, the kids' floor, and I invited everybody who was competing against me. I invited everybody who was running for position in the county, and I invited all the moms and dads and grandpas and grandmas with their kids, and said, okay, there's no speeches, but everybody who's elected will have a sticker, and you can go chat with them, see what ward they're in, if they're in yours, and casual, and I'm going to do that every year. I had so many people who couldn't come to it, who were on the Paris Mamas group, and saying that I was voting for you the day I heard about that. I couldn't come, but that having that openness to new political voices. Because parents,
we've got to head to break, but when we get back, we'll keep going on.
Sure,
that.
no worries.
We'll be right back. Thank you very much.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Think Millennial. I'm Matt.
And I'm Ben.
Hi Ben.
Hey Matt.
So we're going to pick up right where we left off. You can tell I'm not very experienced at this, right?
You're doing a fantastic job,
man.
man. You're doing great.
Hi, Matt.
Hi Marc. we're gonna hi Amy. We're gonna pick up right where we left off before the break. You were talking about the playtime in politics at SILAPS.
So I had it's funny, a husband and a wife separately messaged me about when are the public meetings, and there was one Tuesday night, bedtime essentially for kids, and they were like, wow, that really doesn't work for us. And I was talking to my wife about it and my mother-in-law, and I went campaigning, and I came back home. They're like, we have this great idea. What if you booked the kids area somewhere and just invited all the parents? And it kind of evolved to, why don't we invite all the candidates, right? Let's make it the public service aspect of it about, like, I don't care what ward you're in, I don't care if you vote for me or not, I just want more people in my age bracket to get involved. And they did. The moms and dads, the 30-somethings, they were a huge factor in the election in my ward. And then you did a lot of similar activities.
Yeah, building on that, I tried to just embrace parts of my routine. So we kind of chatted about my favorite coffee shop, Coffee with the Candidate, joined me. And instead of rushing in and out and grabbing that coffee to go, I sat on the patio and I had conversations with people, cardio with the candidate, and I ran and walked the track in town, and people came, and crepes with the candidate at a local restaurant, cocktails with the candidate at the Martini Lounge.
They're all very alliterative,
yeah. So I think
no fishing with the candidate.
None. Carps.
There we go.
So we just tried to embrace normal routine life to make it easy for people, because there is this barrier with politics, and I have to know things to participate, or I have to want to go to sit in on a public meeting. Well, then it's a game changer when you can just grab a coffee at the place you always grab a coffee, and then connect with someone who has, it was easy to do.
That's awesome. Yeah. So to kind of continue on that, what were some of the other highlights of your campaign? It sounds like those were both pretty exciting things for you to do as a candidate. Tell me what's
winning was really great. Having lost twice in the past, and I've helped out with winning and losing campaigns, and winning's a lot better. It's funny, my mom came to the inauguration with me, and she's used to 90-cent spaghetti dinners where we're salting the spaghetti with our tears of loss. And my mom's at the inauguration going, this is quite a spread, what happened? I said, oh, well, we won, right? So when you win, it's a little different. You celebrate very differently. And we started laughing, and I was like, but also because of that, it's less about the campaign. It's been such a learning experience since, right? Like, we've already had, you'll probably agree with this, we've had a ton of controversial issues. A lot of them brought sort of down onto municipalities from the province early. It hasn't been like this. It hasn't been like, oh, let's just ease into this. It's, hey, controversial issue after controversial issue, and you need to decide before February. And that's been really intense, but it's been really good because it almost dives off of the energy from an election to, there are these serious issues, there's no sleeper time.
Right. Yeah, I think for me, joining 7 of 9 new members has kept us on a high. All of it was pretty exciting. There was a total movement that happened in Norfolk County. I'm not anything out of the ordinary, really. When you sit down and you look at our council meetings, we have all walks of life. We have 4 candidates in their council members, 3 council members and our mayor in our 30s. We have 3 women on a previously male-dominated council. We've got lots of victories that make it fun to celebrate.
We only have 1 woman on council, and I supported 3 other female candidates, and none of them made it. But we do have our first openly gay mayor. We have our youngest councillor ever, I think. And myself, and we do have some folks with other things that would add to that diversity in age and experience, at least. and it isn't the same group along the same lines. We needed some wholesale change, and that's what people want, and we got it. It's been working, like, and people are excited, people are energized. There's a lot more communication, and in Norfolk with the folking vote, and then here with the just effing vote, it may not be apparent in the numbers in terms of turnout, but in terms of who actually won and who didn't, younger, more dynamic voices won, and I think those movements, I follow them both.
Yeah.
They helped.
They helped.
Right? They helped to get
certainly
young
helped.
people engaged and energized.
They made it easy. They made it easy. Put
easier.
politics in the palm of your hand, right? You can use your social media and follow and track and find out information. Yeah.
And I think we've touched on the people looking at age as a negative side. Did you experience that? But how about on a positive side? Like, Marc, did you see that? Both of you, but Marc, did you see as being a younger person that they were like excited about that new
and
voice?
older people as well.
Yeah.
Older people saying, "You get it. Like, we need change." You know, it's not people. Older folks in politics, they care about their kids and their grandkids.
Yes.
Right. Just as much as that. In some ways, they're more forward thinking because they have this tie to a generation or two behind them, and they're going, "Oh, I want to make sure certain things are there for them," and they see young people, and they do want that. They also sometimes you'll get folks across the spectrum who they like the energy. They want some shake it up energy to happen on council. They want people to say what they think and talk differently and not. You know, what we're used to politicians using all these, political words, even for, instead of swearing, they say fuddle duddle. Instead of talking about, hey, this is real crap, something we might say. They try to use all this old timey language, and it disconnects people, including older people who don't abide by that.
Right.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think a lot of people associate younger individuals with higher levels of energy. So even if that's not necessarily always accurate, it resonates with them. But yeah, in Norfolk County, we have this surge of people who are looking to participate on our committees and our boards. And so we have this process where we renew all of our committees and whatnot, and we extended it. And now council is actually participating in the application process where we will accept the citizens who help us, who build like a better county. So we have this increased level from everyone, really. New council means
the level of engagement has just been higher. It feels like, especially with municipal politics, it doesn't feel sleepy.
Right.
And again, we're in the middle of the eye of the storm, so maybe we have a bit of a bias. But I'm talking to folks who, like, they're engaged. I'm posting things about things that would never get traction, right? And you're getting 70 likes and 40 comments about environmental bills, about Bill 66, which would have been a sleeper thing. But municipalities are holding the line on a lot of these issues, and they're doing it effectively. They're organizing, and we get a lot of young organizers who are out there doing their thing and getting more people involved in those issue-based campaigns.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Well, we've got to wrap it up there. I believe Matt has one question for you before.
I really want to get down to brass tacks with you guys for 1 second. Super Bowl Sunday, Rams or Patriots?
That's a very good question. Now,
Or option 3?
got
more
30 seconds.
more funding for the arts.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. We do want to thank you both very much for being
Thank you,
here
guys.
today.
It's been a pleasure
Thank you
having you.
both, and thank you for all you do for the community as well.
Thank you,
We
guys.
really appreciate that. And with that, we're going to head to break, and we will be back with Joshua Walt and Kevin Davis.
See you soon.